Hi, this is David from Everwood Ave Brew Shop. Today, I'd like to talk to you about regulator creep, what causes it, and how to fix it at home. Regulator creep is when the regulator does not maintain a constant pressure to the kegs. You can tell when you set your regulator, and over time, the set pressure increases. This is simply caused by a failure of an O-ring inside the body of the regulator and is actually an easy fix at home. Here at Everwood Ave Brew Shop, we do sell repair kits for the regulators that we sell, but there is an easy and cost-efficient way of doing it yourself. So I'd like to show you that method. The tools that we're going to require today are an adjustable wrench, an 11/16 socket. Now this is specific to this regulator body, and other regulators may require different socket size, Teflon tape, or pipe joint compound. I prefer the pipe joint compound. I find that it works much better and it lasts much longer than Teflon tape. For this demonstration, I have got my regulator threaded to my CO2 tank, but my CO2 tank is shut off. As we can see, there's no pressure to the regulator. Do not do this at home while your regulator is attached to your CO2 tank. The first thing that we're going to do to get to that inner O-ring is we are going to remove the front bonnet from the regulator. Here we can see the forward body of the regulator, and all regulators are separated into two parts. They're separated into the front body, and in back there's a second chamber. The high pressure goes through the back chamber to the high pressure gauge to show you what's in the tank, and then by screwing in the handle or the screw at the front of your regulator, that pushes in a little piston that we can kind of see, which allows CO2 to enter the front chamber, where it then can go to the low pressure reg and through the valve down to your kegs. So once we have the front bonnet removed, with our ratchet we're simply going to remove that inner nut. Now I have everything pre-loosened because I'm doing this with one hand, but typically these are Loctited in, if not threaded really tightly. We have to very gently remove this threaded nut, and we can see the O-ring that is causing us the problems. Now the procedure that I'm going to show you tonight involves fixing this without replacing the O-ring, but we highly recommend that you purchase the appropriate repair kit and replace that O-ring as soon as possible. But in a pinch, this will work. Inside we can see the piston, and there's a spring, and so when you thread your regulator knob inward to turn up your pressure, this piston actually pushes in and allows CO2 to escape through a little hole in this nut. So all we're going to do to fix this is we're simply going to apply our pipe compound or Teflon tape to these threads. What that is going to do is prevent the leakage of CO2 through the threads, which is generally what causes the creep. Once we have put a little compound within the threads, or taped it with Teflon, or a combination of both, all we need to do is simply replace the threaded part over the piston and screw it back in. Once it is tightened using our ratchet, we then replace the bonnet and use our adjustable wrench to tighten that as well. Once it's put back together, you can then put it on your CO2 tank and test it, and it should work for you. If you have any questions or comments about this technique, please contact me and let me know. Otherwise, happy brewing. Thank you very much.